Shut up and sit down.
Howdy guys, Andy here from Bigmeks Workshop and Painting Studio, and this is a slightly different one. As you can see, we've already got a partial paint job, so I'm doing a bit of a colour test really. This is a model I've cobbled together for the purposes of the video, and I'm playing around with black armour and also flames, so we're doing a bit of a Legion of the Damned sort of video here today. As you can see, black armour, always start off with a black prime. It just makes life so much easier. We can do all the Zenithal stuff, but we're not bothering. Starting off with a 50-50 mix of Dark Reaper and black. This is Decay Black by Scale 75 and Dark Reaper by GW, and as you can see we're doing some fairly thick highlights on this, and we're just getting a nice outline around the edge of the section. We're going to be painting all the way around the armour for the purposes of this video, but focusing mostly as far as the video is concerned on this leg. And we're also going to be leaving a nice highlight band up the right hand inner leg, because we're going to be doing that sort of nice shiny highlights technique as well. So I'm playing around a few different techniques and I'm just trying some stuff out, so I think this would be a really interesting project to do for an entire army. I was inspired by somebody on the Army Painters Facebook page, and I thought, let's give this a try, and this is the end result of what I've got on my first attempt of a Legion of the Damned. So as you can see, it's taken a while. We're getting plenty of layers on there, nice and thin paint, and we're just building that colour up. It's really subtle, this highlight, as all the highlights will be, and we're just building it up really gently, keeping that paint. The next stage is pure Dark Reaper, and we're just keeping those lines nice and sharp on the inside of the slightly darker shade. We're really trying to keep these lines really neat, because the less scruffy your highlights are, the less work you have to do at a later date, as you've got a whole load of cleaning up to do. Now this is a slightly modified version of Darren Latham's video, which I'm pretty certain just about everybody in the universe has watched, because that bloke's amazing. And I've modified it for my own ends, because his armour was a very, very cold palette, and I wanted to just switch it up and make it do my own thing with it. So I've modified it in my own little way. I've got my own little twist to it to make it a little bit different, but you'll see when we get there. So as always, these highlights are staying on the inside of the already pre-sighted highlights, and just again building them up with really nice thin paint. As you can see, we just keep we're doing on the rounded sections sort of a little ball of a highlight, aiming towards the light source, which is already pre-established on the other side of the model. And we're just still building up those colour transitions on the inside legs as well. So here we are, this is where we're at now, and we're just starting to add some, this is where the colour palette starts to differ from the Darren Latham video. We're adding Hellbound Flesh by Scale 75, which is kind of a greeny grey. Once that's gonna lighten up the Dark Reaper, and you got a really cool, a very cold colour for the highlight. So once again, we are working on the inside of the previously established highlights, but we're not going all the way into the darker areas now. We're starting to leave some of the darker highlights unhighlighted. We're still focusing with on those nice ball highlights on the knees and the circular areas, and we're bringing the other highlights around, but we're building up that those leading points a bit more. We're just adding a little bit of an extra layer on there, letting the paint dry, doing a little bit more, and we're just building up those layers where the highlights are really going to be most pronounced. And as you can see, just really gently bringing those colours together, and you're going to get a really cool sort of almost a non-metallic shine out of this. So now we've got in the highlights are sketched in. We're getting some making some progress now. Still using a small layer. Probably wise to use a slightly narrower brush or a bit more one with a much finer point. But we're now using pure Hellbound flesh now, and this is as said, it's a very greeny grey, and it's quite a cold colour. So it's really going to make those highlights start to really jump out. And we're just starting to focus now on the primary areas of the light impact. So the upper areas. We're also leaving the extreme points we're focusing on as well, but we're going to be left slightly darker than some of the shaded ones are going to be left slightly darker than the ones that are in more prominent highlights. So you get a kind of a subtle difference between the different highlight areas as well. We're also, like I said, we're still continuously bringing up the layer of highlight colour on the knees and the rounded areas, and it's just going to really bring those colours up. As you can see, we just bring them points up now. My brush is definitely on its way out in at this stage, and so I also actually have to change brushes as well. And we're bringing those nice high points in with this Hellbound flesh. But if you do bring it up too light, feel free to go back with a slightly darker colour just to tidy it up again. There's no harm in that. It's just remember, keep that paint really, really thin. So now I'm going back in with the Decay Black. This is just to tidy things up wherever I've brought the highlights a little bit too far out. It's really thin down paint, so you can bring it onto the highlights as well. So it'll just soften on the it'll just soften some of the really bright, vibrant highlights. It's just I'm going back around with this Decay Black just to brighten things up, just to tidy things up, just to really get those highlighted areas nice and neat. Okay guys, what we're going to do now is going to start up warming that black up a little bit. So as you can see, there's a little touch of brown there. That's RHINOX hide, and that's going into the shaded areas, very close to the highlights, but I'm keeping it really, really thin. Again, you might find yourself having to go back over with the black just to take away some of that brown. It's just there to warm the colour up, make it a little bit more interesting. And what you're going to get is a really cool looking black, but also got some nice interesting transitions as well. So you're going to get really cool transitions, will make things quite interesting. It's going to really trick the eye, and you can go around any of the shaded areas. I'm not building it up as to be dirt, which is why it's going to be getting tidied up again with the black once we've got the shaded areas nice and warm. Step is using a narrowest brush, TINDALOS Red by scale 75, and that's just going to add a bit more colour to the most inner reaches of the armour, brighten up that brown a little bit. We're keeping this paint super thin. It's like wash consistency paint, and you're only going to need a little bit because it's just to add a bit more depth of colour to the black. So it's not actually going to change the colour of it at all. It's just to alter the colour away from quite a boring black. So now we're going back over with the Decay Black. This is super thin now. So we want to saturate the brown and red to a point, but we want to keep that subtle depth of colour in there. So it's just glazing over, using the black as a filter just to take away any obvious red and brownness from the figure. And now we're going back in to the real points of the highlights with off-white, and on all the most extreme highlight areas, we're just touching it up with a little bit of off-white, just as a little tiny dot right in the corners, but we're leaving the darker ones without it, so it just gives you a nice overall effect of that real vibrant shine across the armour, where the light's going to hit. And as you can see, it's like this is it's time consuming, but it's dead easy to do. There's nothing fancy. There's nothing really fancy about doing this. So it'll look great on a Black Templar army or any army with a hell of a lot of black on. Okay, so in this second part, we're going to be focusing on that back leg again. And this is the fire section. So this is Tindalos red. And using a small layer brush, I'm just doing some kind of vaguely wavy lines. Now this was quite difficult to see for myself, but on camera it seems to have picked up quite nicely. Some vaguely fire-shaped lines, and I'm using a really dark red because that gives us plenty of wiggle room to alter the shade. Also change the shape of the fire if we're not happy with it. So now back onto a really narrow brush, and this is Scale 75's Mayhem red. It's a new one we're trying out, and now I'm keeping the paint on the inside of those flames, the inside of flame lines, bringing up the colouring a little bit nicer. So now I'm using Scale 75's ALDEBRAN red, and again I'm just highlighting the inside of the flames, and I'm bringing the colour further and further up. Now, although flame is lightest at the bottom, you paint fire backwards. For this sort of thing, it looks better highlighted at the top. So it's a little bit. It's not natural flame as such, but it does look better highlighted upwards. So this is Mars orange going to the tops of the flames, just to really brighten those flames up. And you're going to get a really colourful bit of fire. It took me a little bit of playing around getting the fire at least the right shape, so you're going to have to come back and forward with the colours. So this is Lilith yellow, another Scale 75 paint. We've got a few new Scale 75s. What I was looking forward to trying, so I took the opportunity here. Now this is a really colourful yellow, as you can see. It's a load of bright pigment in there. And then HYKEY yellow right at the top. As you can see, it's a really vibrant yellow, really bright and colourful, and that's just to get that real hot flame strike where the highlights are leading us. So now what I'm doing, I'm going down with the Mayhem red and down near the bottom of the leg, and just kind of start softening the transitions a little bit, just to blend the colours together somewhat. And I'm also going to start really darkening up the overlap where it goes into black. So now it's Tindalos red going straight over the top, and as you can see, I'm just sort of gently dabbing it, and I'm doing the same. I'm going to be doing the same with black as well. So kind of a stippling effect. So it's like going around coals. And there you are. That is the test model for the scheme. I had a lot of fun playing around with this. Never painted this sort of flame before, so it was a nice try, a nice attempt. Still need a little bit of work in getting the colours right and the values right, but I really enjoyed playing around with this particular figure. So yeah, another nice quick video for you guys. I hope you learned a little bit. I hope you watched it, and keep checking us out and like and subscribe and all that good stuff. So as always, thank you for watching, guys. Also, massive thank yous to our Patreons. That is your boys, Matt, Ludwig Hofbauer, D-Wack, Mark, Dave, Tom, Spiky Dude, and Warren. Thank you for watching this, guys, and we really do appreciate it. You're our top paying Patreons, and we couldn't do this without you. Also, huge thank yous to the Outpost and Element Games. They are both our affiliate links where you can get your standard 15 to 20% gaming discounts on all your hobby needs. Check us out in the description. Our affiliate links are there. At no cost to you, we get a few extra little benefits for any purchases you buy through our affiliate links. So thank you for watching, guys, and we shall catch you in the next one. Ta-ra.